As some of you guys may know, Ignition Models is one of my favorite brands to date. They make some of the coolest setups that you've ever seen when it comes to high quality model cars. But something is brewing about that may affect our ability to get Ignition Model cars and change the game for everybody. So let's figure out what that is starting right now. So let's start with the basics. When a Ignition Model announces that there's a new pre-order coming, it's been pretty standard when it comes to Model Cars Houston. The pre-order announcement comes up, I post the pre-orders on the website and all through my social media channels so that people know about it. Everybody orders whichever ones they want. I tally up a quantity and I submit this quantity to Ignition Model so that they know how many to allocate for me, and they'll do the same for other resellers out there as well. And after months of waiting, the pre-orders finally come in, we pack it, we ship it, it goes out to the customer, and they get to show off this awesome work of art which they get to display with pride and joy. However, everything is changing. And to make things worse, it's actually how resellers get allocated their quantities to be able to give our customers for the pre-orders. But here's the new format, and this is where things get really tricky. Ignition Model now will send us the pre-order announcement with a predetermined quantity. Before, they didn't let us know how many they had because they would produce based on how many we ordered. So everybody pre-orders a model car, we submit these quantities to Ignition Model. They will let us know how many of the ones that we ordered will be available for us. And there's two ways that Ignition Model is going to dictate this. First, they will find out, does the pre-order quantity exceed the amount that they are going to produce? So for example, if you've got a model car and they were going to make 100 pieces, if you combine everybody and everyone is only ordering, let's say 80 pieces, that means that if I ordered 5, I have plenty of a buffer to be able to get those 5 pieces. Now, the flip side is that if there are 100 being produced, I order 5, but the allocation across all the resellers exceeds the 100 that Ignition Model said they were going to produce, well then that means that by a special calculation, I will only be allowed a certain quantity out of that 100. So this means all 5 of those I will not be guaranteed, and I may only be eligible for 1 piece or 2 piece at most. So I have to go back, let my customers know, hey guys, we can't get any more of these. We were only allocated X amount. Now, I don't know how this special calculation is done, but I'm sure it has something to do with the big resellers and distributors that are overseas. And us being in the States, we probably amount to a very small portion of the total sales, unfortunately. In hindsight, I see this as a big loss for us because it's going to have to take some very special ways to be able to get the favorite model car that you want. And because I don't know how many I'm gonna be able to get, it makes it even tougher for me to be able to let you guys know how many I have. As an example, the top secret gold Supra, tons of pre-orders. Well, from now on going forward, I would never be able to order that many. Based on the calculation, I would probably only be able to sell 2 or 3 pieces. Now, if you look at it from the perspective of a business, it makes no sense to sell 2 or 3 pieces. It doesn't matter how much margin you make. Again, for us to be able to stay afloat, we have to sell by some margin of volume and some margin, obviously, to make some money. I do realize that from the business perspective of Ignition Model, this will create a ton of hype. Everyone is going to be fighting for that scarcity, but some of the negative effects of me seeing that is that scalping will skyrocket through the roof. And not only scalping at the collector level, but it may also encourage resellers to start jacking up prices as well. So let me know what you guys think about this new process for Ignition Model. It is actually a super tough way to be able to get model cars now because I won't be able to get any of the more popular items anymore, and I'll only get like 1 or 2 pieces. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, you can check out some other videos in the next slide. I will see you in that video as always, or my next video.